All right, we are live. Whole question real quick while people sort of fill in here. Let's see here. What's a good poll question? I'll tell you what. Here we go. Better driver with no championship. James Dennis. This is a debate that's been sparked here recently. Mark Martin. There's another guy who never got a championship. Junior Johnson. Let's see. Who's another guy? Throw Carl Edwards in there too. That's a good one. Even though he cut his own career short there. Let's see here. All right, so we got a poll up. Who is the better driver of guys who haven't won a championship? I forgot to put that in the poll question. But I've got Carl Edwards, Mark Martin, James Dennis, Allen Hamlin, and Junior Johnson. Right now with 7 votes, 57% going with Mark Martin. So we'll leave that up and see what gets going throughout the deal. The reason, of course, this debate became a debate is because Denny Hamlin has 51 wins. Mark Martin has 40-something. 820-something starts for Mark Martin, 640-something, I want to say off the top of my head, for Denny Hamlin. I was just recently looking at this. I don't walk around with those numbers in my head. But Mark Martin has way more top tens and way more races. But the big debate, in my opinion, what it comes down to is this. Mark Martin built Roush Racing. So he didn't walk into an established organization. He didn't have veterans to lean on. I think that's what this argument comes down to. Denny Hamlin was always with Joe Gibbs ever since he was with the touring series. So he had people when he got there that he could talk to. He had, your Bobby Labonis, your Tony Stewarts. He had guys like that to talk to and get better. Mark Martin had Mark Martin and Jack Roush. Like for the longest, it was a one-car team. The other aspect of that is it's a multi-car team over there for Denny Hamlin's career, whereas Mark Martin, most of his career at Roush, it was a single car team. They eventually got the other team in there. So there's various differences about it. But the end all be all to this particular argument is this. If you're sitting somebody in a race car, would you rather have Mark Martin or would you rather have Denny Hamlin? Because we saw with Mark Martin, and I think about 2009 when he went to Hendrick, he reeled off 5 wins when, let's be honest, he was past his prime, but he was finally sitting in elite equipment. Not that there were times that Roush had elite equipment, but when he went and sat in that Hendrick elite equipment that Jimmy Johnson won multiple championships in, Jeff Gordon won multiple championships in, he reeled off 5 wins in 2009. So it is what it is, right, at the end of the day. So let's see here. Somebody was asking for the looks like I caught it out the corner of my eye. So I would put Mark Martin in that card just to finish that thought. Nothing against Denny Hamlin. I think Denny Hamlin's a great race car driver, regardless of what people think of him outside of the sport. I think he is a great race car driver. But I would pick Mark Martin in that particular debate. And the other two in here that aren't getting mentioned as much in the and Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards right now, 18%, 50% for Mark Martin, 18% for Denny Hamlin, and Junior Johnson, 14%. So there you go. All right, let's see here. Denny Dunn Larson Cheap says, Napa Racing fan, Denny Hamlin on Kyle Larson at Pocono. I did not touch him. Yeah, that's so, gosh. If people didn't have the in-car view from Kevin Harvick, Denny might be able to get away with that one and say that he got him with air. But either way, he did it. He knew what he was doing. He was going for the win. I don't have a problem with that. It's the fact that he complained about Ross Chastain for over a year, and then he drove like he claimed Ross Chastain drives. So that's the issue I had with it. It's the last few laps. He was going for the win. I don't have an issue with going for the win, but you can't complain about dirty drivers and then, drive somebody rough there toward the end. That's my only real issue with it. Dev Finch, what's up, man? One wise guy, it wasn't clean. It definitely wasn't clean. And I don't necessarily have a problem with it not being clean. It's the fact that he grandstanded and complained about clean driving, even as early as this year when Chase Elliott hooked him. So you can't complain about clean driving and drive somebody dirty. That's just actions hypocritical, which is down there in the comments. I caught it out of the corner of my eye. Somebody said something about it down there. Hey, Baloney Burger, what's up? What's up in between the lanes? Good to have you on here. OJ and Toothpaste says, what did you think of Joey Logano yelling at the tow truck people? Yeah, I haven't even got a chance to get to that. It's not the end of the world. He's in his car. He's upset. He's hot. It's 1,000 degrees in a race car. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Some people that don't like language are going to have a problem with it, especially if they've got their kids sitting in front of the TV. I can understand their perspective from that. That's why I try not to cuss too much on these. And I try my best not to swear in my videos. But yeah, they have a definite point there. You don't want your kids. A lot of people don't want their kids to hear that type of language. Some people don't care. Let's see. Jay Campbell, Carl Edwards. There you go. Jay Campbell voting for Carl Edwards. Can you guess my vote? Says Mark Martin fan for life. Oh, you're definitely voting Denny. Just kidding with you, Mark Martin fan for life. We know you're going Mark Martin there. Oh boy, this chat is going to hate me after this opinion. After my opinion on this, says Roofer. No, we ain't gonna hate you, man. That's what this is all about. Little water cooler debate. That's what these things are all about. Talking junk with your buddies around the water cooler. That's sort of the vibe I tried to go for my whole channel since I made it. OJ and Toothpaste can't wait to get my Actions Detrimental shirt, says OJ. So there you go. We shipped some out today. I was up there with them doing some side work. So they were shipping quite a few people actually bought them. I was surprised at how many people were getting the shirt there. So it's pretty cool. I appreciate you guys a whole lot for that. And most of them are on the way, I think. How about Dale Jr., says Dev Finch. Yeah, you could put Dale Jr. in there as well. 26. I think Dale Jr.'s got 26 wins, if I'm not mistaken. So you can definitely include him in that conversation. Jeff Burton is another one you could include in that conversation. We could do another tournament style like we did with the cartoon deal. So we got Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton. Let's think of two more, because it looks like Mark Martin right now is running away with this on the poll. 32 votes so far, 53%. Mark Martin 16% for all of the other drivers. Actually, that's pretty wild. So there you go. Did you see the Ryan Preece Corey LaJoie altercation? Yeah, I still haven't gotten a good bead on exactly what happened there, other than I guess Corey LaJoie wrecked him at the end of the race in Ryan Preece's opinion. Denny is a crybaby. Denny is a hack. Paul Sayers saying Denny's a hack. Dev Finch saying Denny is a crybaby. Chrome Diesel is in the house, says OJ and Toothpaste. Always good to have Chrome on board. Kyle Busch, 3. Joe Gibbs Racing, 6. If I do my math correct, that's right. They have doubled up Kyle Busch right now. Right now, Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. both sitting at 3 wins apiece. And Tyler Reddick, does he have 1 win or 2? I haven't kept up. I know Tyler Reddick's got at least 1 win. Does he have 2 wins? I can't remember. But yeah, so the other aspect of that, of course, is the direct replacements. Kyle Busch, I think is, well, I know he's leading Tyler Reddick. I just can't remember if Tyler Reddick's got 1 win or 2. What's up, BB? Everyone, I hope all is well. I think he's got 1 win, but he might have snuck 2 in on me. T-Van, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Howdy from the Great White North. Mark was great. Too bad he couldn't count 1 race or he'd have 1 more win. Should have had a championship. Yeah, he got hit with a technicality on a rule. So it is what it is. OJ and Toothpaste, should they tow the cars back or put 4 scuffs? I'm with you on that one, OJ and Toothpaste. They need to have a better way when they get high-sided to get them back to pit road. I like Joey Logano's idea of having 4 tires on the truck and have them pop them on there. But like a few of you have pointed out, do you really want to trust NASCAR officials with that? And we pointed out the infamous fire extinguisher bottle where the guy fell down. Edwards retired too soon. I believe he stayed 5 more years. He would have won 40 wins with a championship, says Napa Racing Fan. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. He went out on top. We still don't know the reasons why he left early. There's a lot of speculation, but he's never officially come out and said anything. Ty Dillon, at least to my knowledge, Ty Dillon betting odds this weekend, he could win, says OJ and Toothpaste. Well, OJ and Toothpaste, he's got a new crew chief. So now we know what the deal was on Earth 1. He's got a new crew chief. Now that he's got a new crew chief, I expect nothing but top 5s. He's probably going to ruin all of his chances over there on Earth 2 with this new crew chief. CD, all jokes aside, I do hope Ty, he got some stage points, so good for him. I do hope he turns his season around, all jokes aside. What's up, Baloney? What's up, CD? Denny Hamlin is not a hack. He might be a lot of things, but a hack, no way, says Stupid Roofer. I don't think anybody thinks he's a bad race car driver. I think they just get mad at the hypocrisy of him driving rough, and then he does things like he did this weekend where he moved Kyle Larson out of the way. And look, that's what that was my whole argument. And a lot of people are saying Kyle Larson drives the same way. Yes, I know. That's my point. Ross Chastain drives the same way. Yes, I know, that's my point. That was my whole point when I was talking about Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin. I was like, he doesn't need to complain because every driver out there not named Martin Truex Jr. drives that way. Like, why do they complain about it? They all drive each other the exact same way and then get out and cry about it when it's done to them. So it is what it is. That's what race car drivers do. Could Todd Gilliland up at Rick Ware Racing, hanging whatever car Justin Haley doesn't take? Hey, there you go. That would be a nice lineup. I'd like to see him keep Ryan J. Newman over there with Justin Haley, and I think Todd Gilliland stays where he's at with the 38. In between the lanes says Kyle Rowdy Busch gets win number 100 for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Yes, that was a big deal too in the Truck Series, getting that win. Good job over there. I can't believe Denny thinks that he's the victim, says Ken Adams. I mean, that's Denny Hamlin's MO. Part of spin, I don't know if you've seen the new shirt that he's selling. He just likes to stay in the news cycle. He likes to keep something going. So part of that's just Denny Hamlin playing to the crowd. He's playing the bad guy. He's taking a page out of Ric Flair's book, being the bad guy on purpose. I was a Denny fan for the first couple of years of his career. Then he got cocky, says T-Van. Yeah, he was super cocky till Jimmy Johnson ripped his heart out of his chest by beating him for that one championship there. He was a shell of himself for a couple of years after that. I don't want to hear anyone saying Pocono is boring anymore, says RC. Exactly. It was a pretty exciting race. They acted like they didn't know what to do with a restart for part of it, but it was definitely a good race. I agree. I've always been a proponent of Pocono, actually. I'd hate to be Denny Hamlin's girlfriend, says Jay Campbell. I'm not going to go there. Really funny joke, but I'm not going to say it. Let's see. I'm gonna stay out of their personal lives. I try not to veer into that, but just know what I was thinking was hilarious. I love the media tried to make Ross the bad guy and the black hat, and Denny was talking about respect. Now Denny's booed. His mom don't like that. He's the real black cat now. Says Robin Marks. Do you think Larson will pay? Do you think Larson will pay back Larson, and Denny will go and whine and cry about on his podcast? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I do think Larson will give him some payback. I think all the boys at Hendrick are probably going to give him some payback. I think enough's enough. Look, here's the deal. I don't care if we're best friends. And I've said this about my grandpa before. He wrecked me to win a race, and I had a sour face about it. He's like, if you're going to have a sour face, don't race. But if you take 2 wins away from me, I'm not going to be mad. I'm just going to get you back. And that's just going to be a way it is. I'm not going to get mad about it. I'm going to get even. So I think that's what Kyle Larson needs to do, because if not, people are just going to drive over top of Kyle Larson. So Kyle Larson does need to pay him back somehow, some way. Rick Ware Racing says Matt Hunter. Also, did you hear Joey's in-car when he tried to get towed? He was heated. Says also, yeah, a lot of expletives there. He called the track workers bad names too, so I think a lot of people had issues with that. He didn't have nobody matter. He didn't even have his shoes. He had to go home and get them. He brought to life my favorite motor, the big block Chevy, says Ken Wilcom. Yeah, and loosely, Last American Hero, not loosely based, but basically based on his life. Junior Jackson instead of Junior Johnson in that movie. I think that's pretty much the only deviation. Dawson Fair, did you know that Stuart Friesen's birthday today? I did not know that. So happy birthday to Stuart Friesen. Napa Racing fan is Denny Hamlin. It's also Black Flags Matters birthday, Darian Gillum. So happy birthday to Darian as well. Is Denny Hamlin in the running for most disliked driver among fans? Crazy to think Busch and Logano are not 1-2 after so long. I think it's become Wallace and Hamlin 1-2. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably passed a long time ago. I'd even put Noah Gragson and Ty Gibbs over top of Busch Logano at this point, but that's just me. As far as how much they dislike each other. Matter of fact, I put Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch over top of Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, but that's just my thoughts on that one. Denny should have said, "I only meant the Radless cage," says Perry Earl. I mean, he just should have said, "Yeah, I moved him out of the way because I was going for the win." But he's sitting here doing this thing where he's trying to play the victim. I think that's what people have an issue with. He just should have said, "Yeah, I moved him out of the way because it was for the win." Instead, he's like, "Oh, I didn't touch him. I gave him a lane." Like, don't defend it, dude. Just that's what I'm saying. Be like Earnhardt. You're right about that. Just say I was trying to rattle his cage or something like that. I agree with you. Just own it. You have to check out the Joey Logano tow truck incident after the stream. Yeah, I've seen it. I did see it today. Holy crap! I've never heard Logano get that mad. I'm just telling you, if you listen to people on the radio, a lot different. It's a lot different than what they say in public. So I'm not surprised by any of it. Pocono, I remember when people were upset that Chase Elliott was cussing in the race car. I was like, you really think the dude doesn't cuss just because you never hear him cuss on TV? I cuss a lot. You never hear me cuss on here. It's just when the camera's on, you know what to say. Pocono would be even better with an increase in horsepower, but has been good the last 3 years. Says Napa Racing fan. I like Pocono. I think the increase in horsepower would probably help, but race as good as it's going to race this year. This is the first time I've seen people going 3 wide at Pocono. So they're making gains on the next gen car. They just really need to figure out the short tracks. It's raced fairly decently everywhere else, I think. Kyle Busch and Denny riding around in the truck before the race, crowd booing. Kyle looks at Denny and like, man, they hate you. Says like this, like, I have no problem with Denny's move, especially on Larson, who has perfected it, but own it. That's my issue with it, Mark Martin fan. Just own it. Just be like, yeah, I moved him for the win. What's the big deal? Because everybody else except Martin Truex does it. So it is what it is. Feels like they should be going to Watkins Glen this week and not Richmond. Yeah. I understand. Like normally this is the slot in the schedule. They go to Watkins Glen, but yeah, Richmond is up on the track and they'll finally get to do the short track test with the reverse splitter or whatever they're calling it. So let's see. Hopefully that works out for him. Ryan Preece incident with Corey LaJoie was shown on Race Hub. I haven't seen Race Hub yet. It's been actually kind of a busy week for me. So I will try to find that. I'm sure if it's on Race Hub that it's probably on Fox Sports, whatever. I'm just here so I don't get fined, says Bumblebee. I appreciate it. I got you, Marshawn Lynch. Jay Campbell, how about worst driver to win a championship? Says Jay Campbell. Worst driver to win a championship. That's I don't know. That's crazy. I'd have to think about that one for a while. I can't think of anybody who's just stumbled backwards into one. So that's hard to say. Anybody that wins a championship's got my respect. So I can't call any of them worst or even bad. RC just won. Tyler Reddick, 1 win at Coda in between the lanes. Kyle Larson is Denny's dad, says Bumblebee. The 3-car would have wrecked him under caution. I'm not going to win. You're not going to finish. Best ever, number 3, says Ken Wilcom. Yep, Perry Earl, be honest. So there you go. That's what I was saying the whole time. I think a lot of people, they just don't want Denny to be hypocritical. I don't think a lot of people actually had a problem with the move because it's for the race win. I think it's just the fact that he cried about it for a year and a half. Everybody needs to drive with respect, and he did not drive with respect. Let's see. Did Denny touch Bowman, says Napa Race fan? I don't think he touched Alex Bowman. I don't think he touched him at all. He might have got him loose with arrow, but that's part of the game. But he definitely didn't make contact with him. But at the end of the day, if you're Alex Bowman, do you really care? Like you just watched him. You watched him get you arrow loose and finish you off, and you watched him move Kyle Larson. So if you're Alex Bowman, do you care? So he's probably got some payback coming from Alex Bowman as well. You don't have to worry about whether it actually happened or not. You have to worry about what Alex Bowman thinks about it if you're Denny Hamlin, because Alex Bowman now probably wants to pay him back. They don't like each other anyway. So I'd actually put Alex Bowman up there against Denny Hamlin, then Kyle Larson, and probably Denny Hamlin, then probably Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. That would probably be my top 3. He spun him with air, says Bumblebee. Yeah, I think so too. I think he saw him get in trouble, and they don't like each other, and so Denny just finished him off without touching him. But he used the air to do it. And Denny knows how to use the air because he's talked about that in previous podcasts. Kyle, have you ever been to Pocono? I have not, but it's on my list. It's actually pretty high on my list. I really want to go there. Watkins Glen and Sonoma. They're actually, oddly enough, are actually the 3 tracks at the top of my list right now. Also, what track would you like to go to if you got a free ticket that you've never been to before? There you go. I actually just gave you the list. I should have read your comment before I finished. Hey, Rupert, says Bumblebee. Mike Menzer says that everyone here that Jeffrey Earnhardt might get a chance to drive at JRM car if you get. Oh, that's awesome, Mike Menzer. I have not heard that, so I'm going to go look up where that's at and get it going. That would be the bomb, because I think just T-shirt sales alone, they could fund at least the tires on that deal. I agree overall. Denny isn't a hack, but with this Larson incident, he kind of was. Not necessarily a hack, just so much as a hypocrite. And he wrecked his friend. So that's with friends like that, who needs enemies, right? So it is what it is. Next time they go golfing, I'd hit him with a freaking golf ball while he's walking up. So I don't know if I could aim. I'm not that good at golf. I couldn't do that if I wanted to. Looked like Hamlin took air off Bowman, and I was sure he was okay with that. LOL, says Jay Campbell. Yeah. I'm sure Alex Bowman's fine with it. Not a big deal. No retaliation coming at all. Especially if Alex Bowman doesn't make the playoffs. Can you imagine that? Alex Bowman doesn't make the playoffs. He can make it his sole mission to make sure that Denny Hamlin doesn't get to the out of the first round. Like, think about that. What's the biggest silly season domino that will shock people, like the Justin Haley announcement, says OJ and Toothpaste? I don't think there can be one that's really any more shocking than Justin Haley, unless Stuart Haas switches manufacturers or something crazy like that. That's the only domino I could see sort of falling like that. Martin Truex Jr. Had Kyle Larson's side, says OJ and Two-Face. Yeah, so it's when your teammate is saying that the move was dirty, at some point, Denny Hamlin should probably just own it and be like, yeah, I did that for the win, which I don't think anybody would have a problem with, right? If you say, yeah, I was going for the win and we made contact, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. But you doubling down and saying we never touched when everybody has two eyes, especially the Kevin Harvick in-car view. Like, dude, we saw you move him up the racetrack. Like, we understand what you were doing. You're going for the win, but don't sit there and lie to our faces and then continue to keep doubling down on it and saying, I didn't touch him. Like, you touched him, bro. You touched him. You moved him out of the way. What did you, especially when you see him come up several lanes, like, I don't have a problem with the move, but don't sit there and lie to our faces like we're idiots. In between the lanes, what did you think of Denny, the Mavis tires and brakes guy, Hamlin's paint scheme? I like green and yellow, but for whatever reason, that shade of green and yellow just isn't jiving with me. I want to like that paint scheme so bad, but I just can't. Like, I grew up like the Seattle Supersonics. I like their color scheme, but I just can't. If maybe that green was a little bit darker, I would be all about it. But that shade of green just doesn't quite work with that shade of yellow, in my opinion. And it's just that, in my opinion. But a lot of people do like it. I think it's probably like 50-50 on that one. Looks like from what I'm reading, Brandon Jones is going back to JGR next year. That could open the 9 up for Carson Voppel, and Hocevar takes the 8, or vice versa. Yeah. We could definitely see that. I want to see Jeffrey Earnhardt get a good ride, though. That's what I want to see, a full-time good ride, I should say, where he gets to work with one crew chief for the entire season. But yeah, either way that works out. I hate that Brandon Jones didn't work out over there. But he handled everything with class, and he got invited back to JGR. So that shows you if you handle everything like you're supposed to, you never burn bridges, and you can always go back to where you want to go. So a lot of respect for how he's handled the situation, especially when the teammate took him out of the playoffs there. Larson says he's done the same thing, but expects to be driven back that way. But Larson never drove Denny that way. Denny maybe learned his lesson after confessing. Now it's Denny. Yeah, so I think he's gonna just get roughed up by Larson every time Larson's around him. I don't think he'll necessarily intentionally wreck him. I think Larson will just drive through him like he's not there, and get him in bad situations. Did you like the Daytona 2007 finish, Harvick versus Martin? I was a Kevin Harvick fan, so it didn't bother me. I didn't even realize at the time how annoying I was being to some Martin fans in the room, because I was just celebrating that Kevin Harvick had won. And then I looked over there and I'm like, oh, yeah, like Martin has a lot of fans. And most people were pulling for Martin. But like in my mind, I was like, heck yeah, Kevin Harvick just won. So it is what it is. As a former truck driver for FedEx Freight, I feel shame for my former company sponsors. Hypocrite Hamlin, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, and I think that's really the only thing is the hypocrisy. I don't think anybody has, I'm going to say this 1,000 times, but I don't think anybody has a real issue with the move itself. It's just the fact that he keeps doubling down like he did nothing wrong. Oops, I forgot to thumbs up. Do it or you'll feel bad, says Robin Mark. So yeah, if you want to hit the thumbs up button, that would be much appreciated, but don't feel pressure to. If Denny was in the 48, he wouldn't get the biggest cheers. He would get the biggest cheers, says Stupid Roofer. I don't know about that. I think he's embraced the villain role at this point. I think he kind of deep down enjoys it. Like he plays dumb. Like he doesn't understand why people hate him. But I think strategically he knows how to play a news cycle, first off. And I think strategically he likes being the bad guy, because I think he knows that being the bad guy gets you way more press than being the good guy. Like Hulk Hogan is a pretty boring character. If you put Hulk Hogan over here and Ric Flair over there, and you ask an adult which one you like more, they're going to say Ric Flair. And Ric Flair was a bad guy. Denny Hamlin, more interesting as a bad guy, and I think he does that on purpose. Kyle Busch, he did the same thing for a long time. Kyle Busch is sort of like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He still does bad guy stuff, but now he's with the right team, and people, he's like our bad guy. He's become the anti-hero. He does the wrong things, but since it's the team that a lot of people grew up liking, the RCR team, it's just been a total flip. Hey, BB, so can we have an air bubble, take Hamster into the wall next week, then take the mic away? I don't want to hear the whining. Well, I mean, here's the thing. He complained about Ross Chastain so much that he got his own podcast, in my opinion. So I don't think he's going to stop talking. I don't know. I don't see him taking the microphone away because it sells. Like, look, right, we're talking about it right now. It sells. Like, we complain about it, but we're talking about it, right? So I don't complain about it, but I mean, most people do complain about it, but at the end of the day, the people complaining about it are still talking about it. So it is what it is. It's the funny thing about life. Martin Truex Jr. rocked the interstate battery scheme Pocono. Yeah, I was really hoping he would win with that scheme too. I really, really like I've always been a fan of most of the interstate battery schemes. They had some sort of ugly ones in the mid 2000s, but they've gotten back to the good stuff with the neon green ones. If you get rid of all of your diecast, which one do you keep out of your collection? Says OJ and toothpaste. I don't know. I'm not getting. There's a bunch of them I wouldn't get rid of. My favorite one, without a doubt, is the Kevin Harvick autographed truck as far as diecast goes, I guess, if I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Let's see here. Any words on the first win that Kevin Harvick had in the Truck Series autographed truck? Any word on fines this week, particularly Austin's comments? I haven't heard anything. Usually, Bob Pockers, last time I looked at Twitter, Bob Pockers usually updates that stuff. He says Tuesday, stuff like that, she's not handed down till late in the day. And I literally just got here, so I haven't had time to check anything before I jumped on here. Happy birthday, Black Flags Matter. I'm sure he'll pop in the chat. Says Roofer. He might be enjoying birthday activities too. So let's see. Kyle, sooner or later will get tired of Denny's BS. There's a reason his girlfriend's not his wife. Jay Campbell says Brickyard Brickhead. Ty Gibbs makes the playoffs. Maybe gets his first win this year. He's really close to getting into the playoffs, so it's super close. I think he does get a win, if not this year, within 365 days from now. I think you'll see Ty Gibbs get a win. MB is saying hey to Bumblebee. Let's see, MB. I get some good laughs from Moves. LOL. Good to hear. Kelly says MB. In between the lanes, 600 wins for Toyota, 50th career win for Denny. The delivery guy Hamlin, and Denny is the all-time winningest driver at Pocono with 7. Yes, it was definitely a good week for Toyota. There's no doubt about that, and good week for Denny Hamlin because I think he enjoys the negative attention, like I was talking about earlier. So I think it's a good week for everybody involved. Philip Canavan, a good week for me selling T-shirts too. If you want an Actions Hypocritical T-shirt, here it is right here. And that's the last time I'll plug it. I'm not gonna sit there and plug away on it. But I do appreciate those guys for helping me out with the merch. I saw a show, Abandoned Season 1, Episode 1, 7, Carolina Speedway. They in Wilkesboro, Metrolina, Harris County, and more. Tracks. It was interesting. It was on Roku channel and Tubi. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's on I forget what I've got, but I can see it through HBO something. I've got an HBO package, so I know what you're talking about. Mysteries of the Abandoned, I think, is the name of the show. One of my favorite shows. I love that show. Denny, I know you saw, and there's Mysteries of the Abandoned Americas too. Denny, I know you saw what you saw, but I'm here to tell you, you're crazy. You didn't see what you saw with your own eyes. Denny is clearly running for political office when he retires. Say, Kyle, you're on the same wavelength as me. I wanted to tweet it out, but I kind of wanted to stay out of the drama, so I didn't tweet it out. But I was like, Denny Hamlin should run for politics because there are politicians who can't commit to a story the way Denny Hamlin can commit to a story. So when he gets done racing, he can still, run 2311. He's got Michael Jordan and all those people over there to run 2311. That dude should run for politics because he can sit there and commit to a story like nobody else. Like that dude, like he could be like a spy too, like, right? Like if he wanted to retire and be a spy, like he will commit to the story. Like he will you'll never find him out. You'll never get any more information than you want to know out of him because That dude, he commits to a story like nobody. Kimba just says Kyle Petty had the best live F-bomb during a race. I think it was Watkins Glen broadcast on TNT. He got turned and came on the radio saying, "What the F was that?" Says, yeah. I think I remember that one, if I'm not mistaken. Truex said it was dirty, but Truex isn't a hypocrite like Denny, who is in denial, says Robin Marks. Yeah, Martin Truex Jr., probably the only one I can say for sure. He can complain about hypocritical driving because he drives pretty, or rough driving, because he drives fairly clean. Do you remember when J.J. Yaley in the 18 took out Mark Martin? I don't remember that one. I remember when Jeremy Mayfield took him out. So I remember the Jeremy Mayfield deal. Let's see here. Austin Dillon won't get fined according to Bob Pockris, says Christian Carver. Let's see. I lost my place. I'm just going to start here. If I missed your comment, I apologize. I'm just going to start right here. My freaking thing down here is being stupid again. My scroll bar is being stupid. They put in this little emoji thing, and now you can't use the scroll bar over here, and it's very aggravating. Do you think it's BS UPS delivery drivers have no air conditioning in their trucks? I don't like it. I hate it, but I guess they're doing it to save money. And if they're saving money, they need to give it back to them. But it looks like today that the strike or whatever ended, or they reached I don't even know what was going on, but it looks like they reached an agreement. I saw that on Slap Shoes deal. And so, yeah, good for them. Never complain about the paycheck you make to the people who are hating on the UPS drivers trying to get more money. Last year, we all thought if they don't like that you're making that money, they can come do the job with you. Last year, we all thought Ross was going to get wrecked out also by over half the track, and it didn't really happen, says Nathan. Yeah, so that's another one. I'm turning the corner on Hamlin. People tell me to hate him. Don't tell me what to do, says Stephen Roofer. Yeah, I'm not telling anybody to hate him. I'm just saying, like, part of what he does, he's playing the heel on purpose. So part of that deal where he does stuff like this, he doesn't necessarily do the stuff to play the heel. It's the stuff he says after he does it to play the heel. He's very calculated, in my opinion. Hi from Northern Idaho. What's up, Cassandra? Glad to have you on here. What's up, Northern Idaho? Come on, dude. Got to wear the 5 hat. I mean, I got right here. I've got the 5 car right there. I've got the other 5 hat right here. There's Kyle Larson right behind me. There's little Kyle Larson right there. I'm sorry, there's not enough. There's not enough Kyle Larson representation on here for you. I don't think Denny. And there's also a FedEx hat down there somewhere for the people like you just hate Denny Hamlin. I don't hate Denny Hamlin. I don't have enough time to think about any driver to hate on him like that. So I don't think Denny liked it when he noticed he wasn't liked. But then he's a smart guy. Now I can see he really is embracing it. Ratings, conflict, sales. That's a fact. Championship 4 predictions. Truex, Byron, Larson, Seabell. I've got Truex. I've got Byron. I've got Larson. I'm putting there over Christopher Bell, but I do like your pick of Christopher Bell. Flip a coin on who you put in there other than that. But yeah, I've definitely got Christopher Bell in there. I mean, you got to make a case for Denny Hamlin too. He's got 2 wins now. So he would have to be in there too, but some mix of that 5 definitely for sure. But I've got the only one I'm swapping out. I've got Kyle Busch over Christopher Bell there. Denny Hamlin's year, says Stupid Roofer. It could be. All this talk about him not winning the championship could give him just enough motivation to finally get over the hump. I started collecting drivers' helmets. Where's the best place to get them? I don't know. Other than the racetrack, is something that I haven't bought yet because I don't want to get into that because I've got enough stuff. I need to stop with the stuff. So I've stopped with the stuff for this year. But yeah, I like them. I saw it was really hard because I was looking for camera equipment and eBay pops up stuff that you've looked at and might like. And they popped up a set of 3 Dale Earnhardt Senior mini helmets, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And they wanted it was like $29 for all 3 of them. I was like, "Nope, this is a great deal. I should have bought it and resold it on eBay, but I was like, this is a great deal. But you know what? It's gonna keep moving. I got enough stuff." Austin Dillon won't get fined according to Bob Pockris. I just read that one. It pisses off the chat, says Stupid Roofer. So there you go, Stupid Roofer taking the Denny Hamlin approach, and he's being the Ric Flair of the chat here, according to him. We can all talk about it, and we all are. Sorry, Nathan Yerk. we can all talk about it, and we were all right, but Denny still gets the last laugh, says Nathan York. That's right. He walked home with the money and the trophy. Austin missed the throw, therefore no fine, says MV. Did you hear the Stanton Barrett is coming back? Hey, that's pretty cool. Run for Emerling Gase Motorsports this weekend at Road America for the first time. 16 and the number 35. I did not hear that, Dawson, but that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Kenny Wallace was supporting Hamlin in his latest video. I feel like he doesn't speak the dull truth sometimes, but then again, he acts like he was a good Cup driver, but never got a win, says OJ and Toothpaste. Look, a lot of people are going to support Denny Hamlin because a lot of people in the media are friends with Denny Hamlin, so that doesn't surprise me at all. William Wagaman, what's up? Good to see you on here. Did you watch the Brad Sweet Kyle Larson podcast? I haven't seen it yet, so if they've addressed it, I haven't seen the one where they addressed the Denny Hamlin thing. Let's see here. Like I said, the scroll thing on the side is not working today, so I'm just losing. I just need to go down to the bottom, but I hate missing all these comments. Let's see here. Max. Hamster feels like the bad guy in WWF who you did not like in wrestling, BB. I always like the bad guys in wrestling, so maybe that's a me issue. Maybe that's why I don't completely have a problem with what Denny Hamlin's doing. But I do have to call him out on the hypocrisy at the end of the day because it is hypocrisy. So I do have to call it. But maybe that's why I kind of respect what he's doing in a way. That's why I don't know. I don't have a problem with it because, like I said, Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, they were bad guys, but they were two of my favorites. Stone Cold was technically a bad guy, but he was a bad guy that they could never actually make him turn heel because the fans liked him, and that's why I think he's pretty much a good analogy for Kyle Busch right now. I'm afraid what Stewart Haas Racing is going to be when Harvick is done because I'm afraid it won't be competing for too many wins for a while once Harvick retires. Hendrick had to go through the growing pains with a new driver. They had that young lineup for a long time. A lot of people were like, is Hendrick done? You know, they were only winning 2 or 3 races a year. So, I mean, Stewart Haas Racing will go through that with a young crew. But as long as they keep that young core intact, they'll be okay. Moving forward. Relatively young in racing terms. I mean, I think Josh Berry's like 30-something. Ryan Preece is 30. So, I mean, they're relatively young. They're young men. The show is called Abandon with Rick McCrank as host. That's a great name. That's a great last name. In between the lanes, let me say this. Bowman the Showman had a nice scheme this weekend with Ally Best Friends. That's for sure. That's for sure. Every time he does the pet sponsorship, I do like that myself. And it was a really good-looking scheme regardless of that. I really hope Martin Truex doesn't retire this year, but I think he will, says OJ. I hope not. He definitely was complaining about not getting a lot of help. I think a lot of people were trying to read into that he's going to retire, and that's why he wasn't getting help. The way I read into it was I think they thought Martin Truex Jr. had the fastest car, and I think Martin Truex Jr. thought that too. And they thought that if they pushed Martin Truex Jr. out in front of anybody, that he was going to be gone and they wouldn't be able to catch him. So that's the way I interpreted it, but a lot of people interpreted it another way. My Dale Earnhardt Barbie meme is almost at 500 likes on 20BB. I'm shocked it's going viral. So yeah, what's funny about that is he did drive a pink K2 car at one point because he was trying to make it purple, and whatever colors they mixed together didn't work out right. So it wouldn't be the first time he's drove a pink car. SHR is done at the end of the year, says William Wagaman. I don't know about that. How about Davey Allison, says Dev Finch. Yeah, so we can add him. We'll go ahead and close this one, and we'll add. We'll do the other poll. 51%. Mark Martin, 21%. Next closest was Carl Edwards, Junior Johnson, and Denny Hamlin, 15% and 13% respectively. So we're going to end this poll, and I'll start another one, and hopefully I can remember what spot I was in when I come back here. These are drivers who haven't won a championship. Have a strong feeling who's going to win this just because of who it is and what I'm typing here. Let's see here. I don't know, but now we're putting Davey in there, so we'll see how it goes. Jeff Burton. Who's another one? We got Jeff Burton, Davey Allison, Dale Jr. I need one more, so I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Somebody type in a driver other than Dale Jr., Davey Allison, or Jeff Burton. We need a fourth one. Let's see here. Never won a championship. I know the chat is a little bit of lag in the chat. But I'm going to give y'all just a minute to get whoever else you want to put in here. Sterling Marlin is one there. 7. Ricky Rudd. There we go. Ricky Rudd. I knew somebody would come with a good one. There we go. Ricky Rudd. I like that one. Ricky Rudd. I'm going to take Jeff Burton out and put in Sterling Marlin because he was so close so many times. And I can't spell, so I probably spelled Sterling wrong. So is it with a G? So there we go. Hopefully I spelled that right. I'll do Ryan Newman and Jeff Burton if we get another stack here. All right. So I've once again lost my place. So I'm just going to scroll up and start from where. Jamie Schweitzer, appreciate it with the super chat. Joey is going to win another championship. A very good chance. Like he does this every year. He basically has a little R&D run, and then he gets going. So I'm just going to pick it up from here. Austin had a concussion during that helmet throw. Kudos, LOL, says MV. So that might be why the throw was off. Because he did make it to the Little League World Series. So he does know how to throw. So let's see. Hopefully he doesn't have a concussion. All jokes aside. The word was Chastain. 2023, the word is ham chucked. So there you go. Instead of getting Chastain, you get ham chucked. According to Jay Campbell. Hey, BB, the Jeffrey Earnhardt interview where he talks about a possible JRM ride is on the Front Stretch YouTube channel. So, all right, so check it out. They do a great job, by the way. Front Stretch YouTube channel. Check them out if you haven't. So I'll check that out. I appreciate you there, Mike Menzer. I'm surprised Pocono race was up in ratings. I'm not. There was a lot of drama in that one. This is Thursday night. I'm not. I guess I should say I am surprised because usually Pocono doesn't get that good of ratings. So this is a Thursday night. Is colleague racing night at Burlington Sock Puppets game. AJ, Justin Haley, Hemrick, and Chandler Smith will all be there giving out autographs. They're free with school supplies donation. Says Ken. So there you go. If you're in the Burlington area and want to check out the Sock Puppets, formerly the Burlington Royals, if I'm not mistaken, which was a really cool hat. I haven't seen the Sock Puppets hat, but actually I've seen the Sock Puppets logo, so I think I know what it looks like, but I haven't seen the hat yet. The people that actually do my T-shirts, they made some of the signs for the Sock Puppets. Was where I was going with that. Anyway, I had to pick JJ over Mark Martin. So yeah, check them out at the Burlington Sock Puppets Stadium. If you want to check them out there, if you're in the area. I had to pick Jimmy Johnson over Mark Martin in the poll because he was one of the OGs, a moonshiner, and the reason NASCAR rule book was written. Him and Smokey Unick wrote the NASCAR Yule book. Yuletide logs. Camaro 50. I completely ruined that one. It's been a long day if you couldn't tell. I can't read, can't talk, can't do nothing. If Hamster has a chance during the last race, Mark Martin is coming back for one ride to take him out. Maybe. Just remember Truex in 2018 said he won the battle, but he won't win the war about Logano's Martinsville incident. 22 wins the championship. Yep. And he won it in what, 2015 too, or whenever that was when that happened. I wonder if any of the drama from Pocono will transfer to the Richmond ratings. I think it will, because I think a lot of people are going to expect somebody to get jumped. What was your reaction when Matt Kenseth jumped Logano at Martinsville in 2015? I mean, I thought it was funny. Like, I had no dog in that fight at the time. I liked both of the guys. I understand where Kenseth was coming from. I guess I was surprised that Kenseth actually did something, because Kenseth never really did anything. So I was surprised by that. But no reaction. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I didn't have any reaction one way or the other. Kyle, when you ever decide to come to Sonoma one year, let me know. I got you VIP pit pass from one of my high school friends. I appreciate you, OJ. I'll definitely do that. Yep, Jamie, that's my thought. Says Roofer, what works on the number 8, Josh? That works on the number 8, Josh Berry team, says OJ. Who's the 4 horsemen of NASCAR? I mean, you'd have to go with the Alabama gang, right? Like, that just makes more sense. They were all grouped up. So I feel like the Alabama gang, probably the 4 horsemen. I was bummed. Josh Berry didn't win Pocono though, says OJ. He tried. He did everything but. He cut a tire. He cut a tire trying to do as much as he could do. 22 versus the 11 at Phoenix. 1-2. Says Roofer. Worst fast food restaurant, says OJ and Toothpaste. Worst fast food restaurant. That is a good question. Let me think on that for a minute, because I've got a few. I would probably. This is going to upset some people. Either White Castle or Crystals. And I know people in Tennessee are going to be like, that's a classic. And I know they made a movie about White Castle and it's got a cult following. But probably either White Castle or Crystals, which pretty much is the same restaurant. They make the tiny hamburgers that run through you. What next year? A few NASCARs look like, says Deb Finch. I don't know. Ford's coming with a new car. They've basically debuted their new Mustang, and what it'll look like if you can slow down the screen or the video and get a screenshot of it. 7 championships for Jordan, 0 for Hamster, says MB. Ricky Rudd, but they got 7 championships between them. MB. That's how you got to say that if you're Denny Hamlin. Ricky Rudd, Sterling Marlin. Okay, we're getting to the where I asked for the names now. Ever since length was brought down to 400 miles, says Chrome Diesel. Do you think Jamie McMurray was a good driver? Yeah, I think Jamie McMurray was definitely a good driver. He just wasn't like. Here's the thing: there's good drivers, and then there's elite drivers. He wasn't necessarily a Jimmy Johnson, but Jamie McMurray was definitely a good driver. He's got so many crown jewels. He's got a bunch of wins. I would put Jamie McMurray in the same vein that I'll put Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, guys like that win a race here and there, but weren't necessarily ever in the best equipment and weren't necessarily, they're just not going to stack. Even if they are in the best equipment, I don't see them stacking 5 and 10 wins here and there. So that's where I would put them. Let's see. Team Penske, Ryan Newman would be another one of those guys. Yeah, I know Ryan Newman had the 6-win season or whatever, but after that, he was just a super consistent guy. Team Penske seems to always be a slight step behind Gibbs and Hendrick until Phoenix. I think they've got they're playing the system more than trying to get a bunch of wins. I think they're playing the championship game. They're playing more of a long game nowadays than because you always see them be really good at the beginning of the year. Then you see them go into this slump, and then you see in the playoffs that their cars run really good in the playoffs. As seen, they've got 2 championships in this format. Ricky Rudd got robbed against Allison for that Sonoma race. He got a win taken. Yeah, that was I remember that. I don't remember exactly what happened because I was a little kid, but I remember a lot of people talking about love your streams and your style, BB, says MB. I appreciate it. Casey Kane. Casey Kane's another one, so let me write these down. We need to put Ryan J. and Casey Kane. Newman, Kane. I can't spell. Who's another one I need to put in there? Burton. So there you go. We got a pretty decent list for the next one. Right now, Davey Allison at 45%, destroying Dale Jr., who I thought was going to win. 29% for Jr., 6% for Sterling Marlin, and 19% for Ricky Rudd. Another tough battle here. Let's see. Sold out crowd at Pocono. It looked like, oh yeah, man. They showed the pictures from like 2018 or something like that, Pocono, and then they showed this Pocono, and it was the infield alone. Just a huge difference. Do you think Pocono would be better if there were no stage? Yeah. I think they need to get away from stage cautions. They can keep the stages, just get away from cautions. Chrome Diesel says, fun fact, this Sunday was the longest 400-mile race at Pocono since length reduction around 400 rather than 500, 3 hours and 21 minutes. But see, that's what I'm talking about. If the product on the track is good, which other than those restarts, I think the racing on the track was pretty good. It doesn't matter how long it is. It doesn't matter how long it takes. That's why I think they should focus on the racing on the track and not all this other stuff that they try to do with gimmicks. Casey Kane has so much hype going to the 5. He did well the first year, but HMS declined badly after that, says OJ. Yep, he did. Why is Kane getting crap from sprint car fans now? I have no idea. Escobar, what's up, man? I don't know what's going on with my voice text right now. Says like this, like, it's all good. Can't spell, says Sonny V. I'm eating Wendy's right now, sponsored by Noah Gregson. So yeah, that's definitely an angle. If it's a sponsor of a race car, I definitely try to hit them up when I'm on the road. Arby's, says Billy Joe. Arby's is a sponsor of Matt Kenseth, number 17. Matt Kenseth had that Arby's commercial back in the day. Burger King, says Roofer. Let's see here. What's your reaction to Matt Kenseth's Jun? I don't know what you're trying to say there, OJ and Two-Face. But if you're talking about when Matt Kenseth junked Joe Logano, I just kind of laughed about it at the time. Burger King is awful. In the '90s, they were a juggernaut. Now you eat there once every 2 years to remind yourself of why you don't eat there anymore. So say Kyle Knockout. Yeah. So nobody has fallen sort of like the King after they got rid of the guy with the big plastic king head. Burger King went downhill after that. Casey Kane will be racing at Grandview tomorrow with Kyle Larson with the high limit sprint car on Flow, 6:40 Eastern times is Wayne Magnet. So check them out there on Flow Racing. Next round, Neil Bonnet. We'll put Neil Bonnet in that one. Oh, Neil. So there you go. Let's see. If Hill leaves for a Cup ride, who replaces him? Seems like Xfinity will be sillier than Cup. Oh, yeah. Xfinity is always crazy. Unfortunately, they got to wait for Cup to get through. Who would they put over there? You'd have to look at somebody from the Truck Series, I would imagine. So probably take a truck driver in a Chevrolet. It's hard to say who they put over there, though. Roush never gave him a proper chance, says Billy Joe. Justin Allgaier had a nice scheme with Reese's Ice Cream. It definitely looked good. And here's my thing with Reese's. If you're going to sponsor a race car, why not sponsor Kyle Busch? Why not do a one-off ride with Kyle Busch if you're already going to sponsor a race car? Nothing against Justin Allgaier. Sponsor him too. But you're missing an opportunity not sponsoring Kyle Busch. Popeyes sucks, says William Wagaman. The only thing I get from Popeyes is that big chicken sandwich they got, and I don't fight anybody for it like some of the crazy people were doing when it first came out. Dylan Namarola never won multiple races. Jimmy Mack is a step above those guys, says Bo Darville. McMurray is great for NASCAR as a whole. Has Keselowski even won a race since going to RFK? Not yet, but he's getting ever closer, in my opinion. Jamie. Denny sucks. Kyle Petty is the only one calling him on his BS on NBC at least. Also Popeyes, says Quiet Cat. Yeah, like I said, Denny Hamlin has made friends with all of the media. So typically they're not going to say anything bad about him. It's just the way it is. He knows how to play the game. He's very media savvy. Prediction with Denny screwing with the 9, the 5, the 48 this year. He will not make it past the first 4 races in the chase. I mean, that's a good chance, especially if Alex Bowman doesn't make the playoffs, in my opinion. If fans think overtime is bad, just remember Casey Kane winning the Brickyard with the stupidest overtime line finish. 1/2 lap, race is called, made no sense. And that's not even the worst Brickyard. I don't think. The worst Brickyard was like 2010, 2011, whenever they had like 4,000 pit stops. It was Pocono. It was crazy. Packed. Took 2 hours to get out of the track, says Escobar, but it was well worth it. You got you a finish for the ages. Favorite until the caution came out. Favorite Dale Jr. scheme. Mine was Talladega. Mine's the. Do I have it over there? Yep, right there. The born on date where he won the Pepsi 400, Firecracker 400, whatever you want to call it. Let's see here. Favorite junior scheme. Paul Menard ran it too. The Black 8 and the Truex number 1, like his dad. 48 will get orders to take the 11 out in the chase, says Massey Ferguson. I don't think you're wrong about that. If he doesn't make the playoffs. Did you hear that Tony Bennett passed away Friday? Yeah, 96 years old. 96 years old. He had a good run there. Great singer. All flat tires, cars get beached and take forever to get back to the pits. Makes cautions too long. I agree. What subject did you dislike the most in school? And did you ever go to the principal's office, says OJ and Toothpaste? I don't think I ever went to the principal's office. I just had to stay after school a few times. And my parents got called in once or twice, like nothing crazy, but least favorite subject in school, all of them. I hated school. Let's see here. Funny to see how perturbed BB was at Denny Kyle ordeal. I wasn't even perturbed. I was just calling out the hypocrisy. The dude went on a tirade for like a year about Ross Chastain and then drove more egregiously, in my opinion, than Ross Chastain. And then doubled down on it and said he didn't wreck him. I wasn't even mad. It was just like so like annoyingly. I just don't like it when somebody lies, and he was just flat out lying about that. But at the end of the day, he's got he got the win, and that's all that matters to him. I am 100% sure. Let's see here. It's the nature of how NASCAR indestructible cars equals unfriendly racing, says E. Damon. Unfriendly racing, says E. Damon. I thought NASCAR figured the flat tire problem out, but seems to pop back up Sunday. Yep. Best beer on earth, too. Mickey's. Mickey's would have to be in the mix. I think we've done this one before, but it's either going to be like Mickey's or 311 High Gravity. Daggum, what's that other one? Dadgummit. It's got the bull on it. Schlitz malt liquor. So there you go. Say Kyle is right about Burger King, says OJ and Toothpaste. Burger King has fallen off without a doubt. No offense to Davey, but the 28 was faster with Ernie in it. He was a class of the field and would have been champ if he didn't get hurt. So he's another one I guess we could add to the list. I don't know. Ernie, I don't know. There's so many. It's crazy that there's so many. Let's see. And that was Bo Darville with that one. Help support. Oh, Stuart Roofer, appreciate you, man. Help support the best pre-race and post-race community. Best chat in the community. I appreciate it, Roofer. There you go. And there's the website where you can get the stickers, T-shirts, and hats to support the channel. Chrome Diesel, I'm a big believer. We need to get rid of stage cautions. We could have got Pocono done in under 3 hours. The stage cautions, in my opinion, they just hold the show up. If Parker Kligerman makes the playoffs, he should get the 48. Billy Joe says 21. Okay. The Wood Brothers 21. I got you. He might be in the running for it. You never know. Harrison Burton seems to be on the hot seat, but I haven't seen anything official. Algar had the Reese's ice cream scheme because it's a Unilever brand, I believe. Same with Suave, Breyer's ice cream, and Hellman's mayo, etc. So there you go. Maybe RC needs to bring Dale Jr. into the fold and let him run a cup car over there. Do you think SVG will go to Haas or the 91? Of those two options, I think he would probably go to the 91. But that's just a guess there. Ernie Irvin was amazing, underrated driver. He was a very good driver. There's no doubt about that. Any predictions for the SRX race at Pulaski this week? I have no predictions. I just like watching them. Let me say this, Blumenberger. Kyle Busch is known as the Candyman, and Reese's scheme for him would be nice. Also, Kevin Harvick had a Reese's scheme as well. Yep, I remember the Harvick Reese's scheme. A guy that used to work for RCR, he does the shocks and late models now, PJ Bryant, he told me, because Reese's was sponsoring them back then, and you remember when they went to Payday? The reason Reese's and them went to Payday back then is because Payday was the worst selling candy bar they had. And I told him, I was like, well, they did a good job and it worked because I never had a Payday in my life until they sponsored Kevin Harvick. Then I ate one and I actually liked them. So every once in a while, I'll get a Payday. So there you go. Sponsorship works for dummies like me. Bad IndyCar race. The bad Indy race was in 2008 where they had all the multiple cautions. I think Jimmy Johnson won that one. Denny said, who gives a beep? What Kyle Petty says, says like dislike. Excuse the first one is everyone forgetting about Mighty Mouse, Alan Kawicki. But he won a championship, so we can't put him in. So we're leaving Kawicki out because he actually won the championship in '92. Throw in your predictions for Sunday, says one wise guy. It's Richmond, so pick your favorite Toyota, one wise guy, because Martin Truex, off the top of my head, I haven't looked at the numbers or anything, but Martin Truex off the top of my head. He seems to be on a heater and looks like he's getting hot at the right time. SRX is at a Motor Mile, VA for Thursday Night Thunder, says Napa Racing Fan. So if they're at Motor Mile, that's a Virginia track. Motor Mile is a nice track, by the way, if you've never been to it. You should definitely, it's a little out of the way, so go check it out if you're in the region. But definitely a good track. I don't know. I still don't know who would win there. Probably Ryan Newman. I would lean toward Ryan Newman there. Wendy's has the most consistent food nationwide, so Speedway Anywhere. I can get on board with that. This should be pretty good on Thursday, says William Wagaman. Some may not like this, but Gibbs usually dominates at Richmond. So 11 or 19 for me. Yeah, I'm with you, Napa Racing Fan. Truex, one wise guy. So yeah, that's two for Truex, one for Denny. We'll count the Napa Racing Fan as one for Denny there. Should we wave the yellow at the end? Sorry, just clicked on. Says just chilling. I think they should have thrown it a lot quicker. They seemingly had thrown it quicker throughout the race. So, but once again, with yellows in NASCAR, the only thing that's consistent is their inconsistency. So I can't say they did it to help or hurt anybody. Just NASCAR is always inconsistent with yellows. Wonder how sponsors look at Denny's arrogance. People don't support sponsors that have a bad fan base. Denny's arrogance will come full circle. I don't know. It's one of those things where Denny Hamlin and until recently Kyle Busch never had to worry about it, so they could act however they wanted to act because they always knew. In Kyle Busch's case, M&M's would be having his back, and Denny always knows that FedEx will have his back. So I don't think, at least not for a long time, he hasn't had to think about what he says or does in front of the camera. Hope 2311 takes it to the Gibbs guys this year at Richmond. Says Billy Joe, did you like Brad Keselowski in the 88? Junior Motorsports, I love the GoDaddy and Navy scheme. I like the Navy scheme. I never was a big fan of the GoDaddy schemes. I just couldn't, I don't know. Something about the orange and the green. I couldn't, I don't know. I like the green and I like the orange separately. But then when you put them together, I couldn't get on board with it. Dylan, if not for Grandpa, would be waxing a cup car instead of crashing them, says Glenn Pillar. A lot of people have that. A lot of people have that opinion. But that being said, he is a two-time champion. He won in trucks and he won in Xfinity. So I'm not going to say he's the worst driver I've ever seen at all. I think he's a pretty good driver. So I will give credit where credit's due. And for a lot of his career, he did in the Cup Series. They didn't necessarily have the best equipment. He's having a really bad year this year, so it's easy for everybody to say, "Oh, he sucks." But if you look at his track record, he's been in the playoffs more than he's been out of the playoffs. If you get in the playoffs as many times as he's gotten in, you got to say he's at least a decent driver. What track sells garage passes at Pocono? And he said himself that if it wasn't for his grandpa, he wouldn't be a Cup racer. So I mean, I'm not disagreeing with your point. I'm just saying he's not a bad driver. What tracks sell? Here we go. Simp mode. Austin Dillon simp moments. Breaking out the shirt very slowly, not like Superman's. There we go. Austin Dillon simp moment. There you go. I'm with you, Roofer, says one wise guy. NASCAR better pray they fix the short track package. I'm getting really into SRX. It's also a shootout given the length. Yeah. You have to play the. It's so weird. The SRX is set up, and they'll throw the fun flag too, so it's sort of hard to predict the SRX. Who do you think will win 17th place when the points begin? If Ty Gibbs doesn't make it in, he'll definitely win 17th place, in my opinion. Daniel Suarez, I would say either Daniel Suarez or Ty Gibbs. Whichever one of those guys doesn't make it in, I feel like Alex Bowman's going to make it in. Maybe Chase Elliott. If Chase Elliott doesn't make it in, I would put Chase Elliott. So I'm changing all of that to Chase Elliott. Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 8 car for Dale Jr.'s team would be awesome. Says like this, like, yeah, I agree with that. I want to see him get a good ride no matter where it is, and that would definitely be a good ride. 20% Ricky Rudd, 8% Sterling Marlin, 24% Dale Jr., 48% Davey Allison with 49 votes. I'm going to go ahead to end this one and start the next one. So we got Davey and Mark right now. And we'll go Ryan J on the next one. Newman. Who's another one here? Kane. I spelled that wrong. Sorry. I can't spell. Everybody knows that. Neil Bonnet. I definitely spelled that wrong. I'm just going to go with Neil. Let's see. I'm going to go Ernie over Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton just not getting in on this one today, looks like, unless we can come up with 3 other names. Ask of the community. And now I've lost my spot again, and I'm going to have to try to find it. OJ is good people, says Roofer. I definitely like to make jokes, says OJ. SVG is worth running a full season without a charter, says like this. Like, hey, I don't disagree with that. Allen won in one of the most exciting championships ever. Say Kyle, roofing comes early. He says, Roofer, we just had a good run of races. Richmond could be a Sunday nap. Oh, that's a good point. They don't always run good. Gonna eat some dinner, which will taste much better than Burger King, and hang out with the wife for a bit. Good night, everybody. Good night, say Kyle. Good to have you on here as always. Roofer saying got to be the 91. So let's see here. NASCAR better pray they fix the short track package. I'm really into SRX, and it's also a shootout given the length. So, okay, I'm pretty close to where I was. Burger King is so expensive, says OJ and Tupe. Yeah, they were super popular in the mid 2000s for the dollar double cheeseburger. They've gotten away from that formula. We've had a good run of races. Just read that one. Thank you, Roofer. You as well, says OJ. Bad publicity is good publicity in the advertising world. Any publicity is good publicity in the advertising world, according to some people. Philip, OJ is one of us. Keep up. Let's see. Truex could have won Pocono if someone drafted with him. I don't think they drafted with him because they knew he had a faster car. I think I said that earlier. I have Ty Gibbs winning at Michigan. A lot of people took people not drafting with him because he's gonna leave Joe Gibbs Racing at the end of the year or whatever, retire. I have Ty Gibbs winning at Michigan. Says like dislike. I could be. Thanks, brother love. Your videos says just chilling. No problem, just chilling. Glad you enjoy the show here. Dale Jr. and Hamlin's aggressiveness might help him win his first championship. Could for sure. You never know. I would like to see Kyle Rowdy Busch could cost him. You just never know. It's a crapshoot at the end of the day with the playoff system. I would like to see Kyle Rowdy Busch win a championship for Kyle Busch Motorsports as a full-time driver. It would be a very popular deal. I think a lot of people want to see Kyle Busch win a championship at RCR. BB, you catch the video of Logano after the wreck on track yelling at the safety crew to Tommy. Some other nice phrases. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I did definitely check that one. Let's see here. SRX Rocks says just chilling. Yeah, SRX is a really good series. Hopefully they can get some more views. A lot of people were talking about how the views were down. I don't think that's a big deal. I think my first comparison of Hamlin and Billy on Earl is accurate. They're both total hypocrites, says Napa Racing fan. If you haven't watched My Name is Earl, definitely check it out. You'll need to watch that to get that reference. Does anyone know what track you can buy garage passes for? Pocono didn't have them, said Escobar. I don't know. Most tracks do have garage passes. I know Martinsville does. Chase, I disagree, my friend. I think he's just giving up, says Roofer. He might have, but he's got the. It just depends on who doesn't make it. It'll be more interesting when I know who doesn't make it. But I like him over the last few races over. I don't know whoever else would be left because he's a past champion. Watching Futurama's return today helped me get over Hamlin's incident with Larson at Pocono. It was really good. All right, so the new Futurama, at least episode 1 is good. I got any Noah Gragson diecasts or diecast cars? I've got a 164th. I don't have any of the big ones yet. I was going to get one this year of the Wendy's car, but I think I'm going to wait until next year when he switches over to a Toyota. Let's see if I get one at all. Like I said, I've got too much stuff as it is. Who's the best driver to never win the Daytona 500, says Dev Finch. Tony Stewart. Off the top of my head, I'd have to say Tony Stewart. I can't think of anybody in the past that would be a bigger name than that. Maybe Junior Johnson. Did Junior Johnson ever win it? So probably either Tony Stewart or Junior Johnson, maybe, but I'd go Tony Stewart. Anyone have Angus 420 says, going to get some hate for this, but I don't care for Pocono, especially when they pulled that crap they did to Nazareth Speedway. I'm not super familiar with what happened there, but if they're the reason that Nazareth closes, I can understand your frustration there. Anyone have a YouTube video link to the Harvick camera view of the Hamlin takedown of Larson? I need to send it to a friend. If you go to social media, NASCAR on NBC and scroll through NASCAR on NBC social media, it's on there somewhere because that's where I saw it. Either Twitter or Instagram. I can't remember which one I was on. NASCAR is becoming so much of a joke. I think it's just it's time to just watch F1 racing where they're a real sport. I've been watching NASCAR since '79, and I'm sick and tired of all the jokes, says Jason Elliott. F1 has its own set of problems, so nothing's perfect. But I definitely understand your frustration. Ken says, I love watching Neil's fishing show back in the day. I love watching, it wasn't necessarily a fishing show, but I love watching Winners. He had a TV show called Winners. I love watching that one. Will Carl Edwards make a good candidate for the announcer booth, says Jamie Schweitzer. Oh, yeah. He did a good job when he was in there. New Hampshire, he's talked about coming back, though, and maybe running a couple of one-off races, and that's got some interest peaked there. New Hampshire changed short track racing, blues, tires, says Glenn Pillar. Yep. Tires are too big and they don't have enough fall off. We were talking about Neil Bonnet. So I've got some handwritten letters from him to my mom. Says Angus 420. That's pretty cool. I'll find it. Says Roofer. So Roofer's got your back on the Kevin Harvick in car there. What's your favorite cut of steak, filet, ribeye, or New York? It depends on how hungry I am. Typically, the New York strip is about the right size, but if I'm super hungry, a ribeye is always good. OJ is a Spurge. LOL, says Jay Santos. Gotta go take the grandson to practice driving. Pray for me. Big test for him tomorrow, says Mark Martin fan for life. Well, after he fails the first one, the next one he'll definitely pass that one. A lot of people fail the first one, if I'm remembering correctly. Or the first written test. The written test, a lot of people fail that the first time. The actual driving test, I think most people pass the first time. But if not, try again. But good luck to you, Mark Martin fan. Jason Elliott, and if Earnhardt practice the 3-point turn, that's what we had to practice with. They probably got something different now. And if Earnhardt becomes a NASCAR owner, he will be with Toyota. Jeff Burton, Earnhardt, pro Toyota supporters. I don't know about that. I think he'll stick with Chevrolet. He owns a Chevrolet dealership in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Superior racing experience is the SRX, says Angus 420. Will Ty Gibbs make the playoffs? Flip a coin 50-50. MIS has garage passes. Michigan Speedway has garage passes, says Angus 420. SRX is an exhibition, says Brickyard Brickhead, but it's a fun exhibition. It's really fun to watch. Pocono has paddock passes, but they just infield, not garages, says Escobar. Oh, okay. So yeah, everybody has an infield pass. Not everybody has a garage pass. That's a fair point. Mark Martin says Angus 420. Do you like Applebee's? Says OJ and Toothpaste. I used to love Applebee's back in the day. Haven't been there in a long time. Like Applebee's, TGI Fridays. Back in the days when malls were a thing. These things were in the malls, and I hit several of them back in the day. I always got the same thing. I got the chicken tenders with hot sauce on them, and fries. Like it was never anything. I was definitely that dude. Never anything different. Ryan Newman, Daytona 500, says Barron. Hey, there you go. So Ryan Newman has multiple Daytona 500s, if I'm not mistaken. Applebee's ruins good songs with their ads. Oh, yeah, that song was terrible. Oh, God, I don't even want to think of it. It's actually out of my mind, so I can't even think of it now. But, yeah, you're right, Napa Racing fan. That was definitely good. Good for ruining a song. Same with Dodge, Heart Like a Truck, right? Too much of it. I'm looking for it, BB, says Roofer. Applebee's smells like bleach, says OJ. Like I said, I haven't been in years. Back in the day, it was fairly good. At least the chicken tenders were, but it's really hard to mess up frozen chicken tenders. Mark Martin didn't win the 500, did he? No, Mark Martin never won the 500s. I would still say Tony Stewart over Mark Martin, though, because Tony Stewart has I'm just going with championships here, so I'm not saying he's a better driver or worse driver, but he's got championships. So let's see here. What's up, Baloney People, says Shy. What's up, Shy? Good to see you on here. What's up, William Wagaman? See you on Sunday as well. Pocono existed long before Nazareth. Not sure about the hate, says Chrome Diesel. I think Pocono had a part in Nazareth closing down, maybe is what I was getting from his comment up there, but I'm not sure. Angus 420, Napa Racing fan. I don't think there has been a decent TV commercial since like 2010. I just recently saw one. You're probably right about that. I just recently saw one about it was old, but it was I'd forgotten about it. But Arby's, it was an Arby's commercial with Matt Kenseth. I'd totally forgotten about that commercial. It wasn't really like all that great, but it was just good to see. Good to see the old Arby's car and Matt Kenseth in commercial. And back when Cup drivers were in commercials, ribeyes are the bestest, says Shy. Chrome Diesel, they lobby politicians to make a law where no one can host a race except Pocono within 100 miles. So they effectively shut them down. There you go. Ribeye all the way, says E. Damon. Do you think Ron Fellows was a good driver? I think Ron Fellows was a piece of crap. So I'm not even gonna talk about Ron Fellows because he's just he got what he deserved. True, but ruining good songs with they're not great food makes it worse, says Napa Racing fan. Yeah, that's true. So if you've got bad food and you make people listen to eventually bad music because you hear it too many times. Yeah, that's a combo for sure. Anyone know if California Speedway is currently being torn down or is it still up, says Escobar? I don't know. I have no idea. I think they started, but I don't know how far they got with it. Did anybody notice watching the ARCA race Saturday morning when Trevor Bayne was in the booth for the race, then doing NASCAR race day in Charlotte Studios for the truck race on the same day? I didn't pay any attention. I didn't get a chance to see any of that, so I wouldn't have seen it. But I didn't notice it myself in between the lanes. Go Flintstones, beef ribs over pork ribs, says Shaw. I'm good. I'm good with any type of ribs, to be honest with you. So I'm good either way. Nazareth Speedway is never coming back, sadly, says Napa Racing fan. Mark Martin was always a bridesmaid for the Daytona 500 too. Hello, BB, just got on. NASCAR drama fuels the sport, says Joshua Jenkins, no doubt about it. Applebee's has the 4-ounce ribeye, says Jay Santos. Unsure on Fontana. I assume they are still converting it into a short track. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird situation. I don't know what's going to happen over there, but it just seems weird. Like, that's all I can say about it. Because I just don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on over there. Why won't you scroll? There we go. Let's see. I don't see any charters being for sale anytime soon. So if teams like RCR 2311 want to expand, they're going to have to run open cars. That's for sure. 4 ounces is like 2 bites, says E. Damon. So just a liquid 4 ounces is the size of a portion control cup, like those little dipping cups. That's what 4 ounces looks like for those who are not familiar with the metric systems game. Or is ounces even metric system? I don't know. Let's see. No, it's not. It's imperial, isn't it? So I used to go to Nazareth when it was dirt a long time ago, says Randy Harrison. Did Rick he drink? Says OJ and toothpaste. The great thing about beef ribs is you can beat the heck out of people with them. LOL, says Shaw. Jay Santos, worst ribeye I've ever tasted, says Angus 420. It's 3 medium bites. LOL, says Jay Santos. Rick Hendrick kicked Casey Mears out of the 25 for Dale Jr., says OJ and toothpaste. I mean, I would have done the same thing. I'm not trying to be like that guy about it, but if you're bringing in as much sponsorship money as Dale Jr., I would have kicked most people out of that ride. I need a timestamp. I can link it. Says Stupid Roofer. Any thoughts on a paid channel NASCAR network? My thoughts on that, Jamie Schweitzer, you're on to and you actually have an idea for video I was thinking about making, but I'll address it here and then I still might make a video about it. What NASCAR needs to look at is the MLB network and NFL Sunday Ticket. NASCAR needs to look at a way of presenting and filming all of its stuff, and then they sell rights to whoever wants rights to show it on whatever platform. That way you get streaming, you get cable, you get satellite, you get whatever, because NASCAR controls the product. NASCAR controls the announcers, and if you want, just don't make it an exclusive license to anybody unless they're going to pay you for all the money you're going to miss out on. So you could sell it to Netflix, you could sell it to Apple TV, you could sell it to Amazon, you could sell it to CBS, ABC, Disney. You could sell it to whoever you wanted to sell it to, but you would control the product. So that's what they need to do to keep up with the digital age going forward, because the NFL's already figured it out. MLB Network figured it out like in 2009, 2010. So I think that's what they need to do. Mark Martin was nice to be. And if you do it that way, you can do it where you've got the 6 in-car cameras like they did back in the day on DirecTV. You can do a lot more stuff with it because you have control of it. Mark Martin was nice to be a champ, and it gets the respect it deserves. Got to be a prick to be a champion, says Shaw. NASCAR's own streaming service would be good for anyone except hardcore fans. I think it would be good for everybody because it would just be like a package. Like it would get promoted better. I don't know. Rusty never won the 500, says Ken. So you got to throw Rusty in there as well. Sad truth, says Shaw. Got to go catch up on Sunday. Shaw, he even said that too, says Angus 420. What am I missing here? Oh, Frankie Munoz third in points after what looked like an electrical problem. How did I miss all these comments. KFB is not won the 500 yet. Says like this, like, yeah, so I'm not talking about KFB because he's still racing. Ron Fellows was a trash guy. Yeah, he's definitely a trash human being, Roofer. I agree with you on that. Dos Equis, Miller High Life had the best beer commercials around 2008, 2010, although they were NASCAR related. Weren't NASCAR related. If Chef Ramsay invited you to a Master Chef, would you do it? You already know the answer to that, OJ and Toothpaste. Me and him wouldn't get along with all that hollering, yelling, and fussing he does. Next year, we'll debut the new configuration of Auto Club. So there you go. It is under construction. Fontana is not on the schedule for 2024. I think they're just going to show the plans for it. So I think that's what the miscommunication is about. You're just going to see what the plans look like finally. What beat era? What's the best era of NASCAR? I mean, for me, it was like the late '80s and early '90s because that's just what I remember growing up. That's when I started liking it. How long are you going to be on here, BB? Until all the questions are answered, Dawson Fair. That's basically just what I do till the questions start petering out. I always loved ribeyes from Ponderosa / Bonanza. So there you go. Bonanza, always a good. That's funny. I almost put a Bonanza quote in the description earlier today. Let's see. Bonanza, the lost episodes. That's all they used to talk about on TV land back in the day. Bonanza, the lost episodes. I've never seen an episode of Bonanza. The only reason I know there's a guy named Haas on there is because they kept talking about Haas in the commercials too. So was a rancher farmer. We had the beef. Screw that restaurant crap, says Shaw. So there you go. It's always better when you get it from the from actual market, straight for farm to table or whatever. NASCAR's own streaming service would be good for hardcore fans, not so much for everyone else, is what I meant to say earlier. Yeah, but if they did it like you do NFL Sunday Ticket, I think they could sell the rights to whoever they wanted to, and they could make some money that way to keep up with the digital age. College football model, Big 12 network, Big 10 network, etc. Yeah, so there you go. Pig, chicken, cow. Go to the freezer, fresh canned veggies. Says Shoss. Hey, there you go. Dawson Fair, you look like Josh Williams with the hair you got. I appreciate it, man. That might be an insult to Josh Williams, but I don't know. Hopefully not. Do you think Kenny Wallace was taking Denny Hamlin's side for ratings? Yeah. Just to be totally honest with you, OJ and Toothpaste, Kenny doesn't go for ratings. Kenny goes for Kenny. Kenny goes for ratings sometimes. I hate to disagree with Jangus 420, but sometimes Kenny says shit just to say shit, in my opinion. Hit the like button, says like, dislike. Went to the store, as we all do as YouTubers. Let's just keep it real. I don't say stuff just to say it, but I make some thumbnails to get people's attention. So we all do it in some way, shape, or form or another. Went to the store for steaks, 4 steaks at $25 a piece, one expensive meal. Says Shaw. I do address what I talk about. When I have a thumbnail, I do address what's on the thumbnail, though. So I will say that. Hit the like button, says like, dislike. Went to the store for steaks, 4 steaks at $25 a piece, one expensive meal. For sure. Ridiculous, says Shaw. Yeah, that's a tough hit. Not anyone in their right mind agrees with Kenny. OJ says stupid Roofer. So there you go. Roofer on the Ric Flair trail here tonight. What's your favorite question? It's nothing. My favorite question would be, do you want $1 million? Actually preceded by, do you want $1 billion? So those are my 2 favorite questions because I know what the answer would be. Philip Canavan, there's an old Bonanza restaurant building right down the street from where I live. There was another one a little north of where I live, but I tore down a few years ago. Says Philip Canavan. Yeah, I've never been to a Ponderosa or a Bonanza that I can remember. I might have been and just forgot. Haas's son played a pilot on Baba Black Sheep, says Sonny V. Philip Canavan, shame on how most of them have disappeared. Escobar talking to Philip there. Kenny Wallace does love to stir the shite, says Shy. LOL. What's your favorite food, BB? Oh, probably, I don't know. Flip a coin. Anything Italian or, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I like pizza. I like wings. I like lasagna. And I like vegetable lo mein, or any lo mein really, but vegetable lo mein is kind of my favorite. But just flip a coin on those. Those would all be hard to live without. I live in North Carolina, so North Carolina barbecue's up there too, but you can't get that everywhere. Vinegar-based barbecue, I should say. Let's see, because there's other regions of North Carolina have different. They have like mustard-based and stuff like that. Vinegar-based North Carolina barbecue. Let's see. Kenny would do that for a win. Denny has 49 wins and is in the playoffs. I think Mark Martin. I think Martin Jr. Signs with JRM in a few years to help his Cup team, says Dev Finch. Definitely a possibility. That's what Jr. wants him to do. Timber says, what track did you visit? They're coming too fast now. What track did you visit for your first Cup race? Wilkesboro for me. For me, I saw Rusty take the checkers at Rockingham in '89 with a rainy start to the day. Race started under caution, says Timber Race. Haas equals Dan Blocker. Same with Denny, and that's the point, says Stupid Roofer. Hey, it's all good, man. Blow it out for Denny, dude. Congratulations on your win. The only thing I'll say about Denny Hamlin fans, stop worrying about what other people think and just enjoy the win. Enjoy the win and enjoy everybody else melting down about it. Like, you got to go into full Dale Earnhardt Sr. mode, Dale Earnhardt Sr. fans. When other people were pissed off, there was no happier people on the planet than Dale Earnhardt Sr. fans. So just take that route. That would be my advice to Denny Hamlin fans this week. Escobar, yes, it is. BJ McLeod wins. Napa Racing fan. Let's see. Never ate at Bonanza. Restaurant always did like the Western TV show. Was a regular TV show years ago. Yeah, it was. I think one of the highest rated. It was like the #1 TV show for a long time. Kenny is funny, says Dev Finch. Oh yeah, Kenny's a character, man. Escargot and steak with asparagus, says Shy. I've never had escargot. Let's see here. I do like steak and asparagus though. That's the bomb.com. With a little shrimp on top. A little surf and turf. At least you interact with everyone's opinion. Other YouTubers just spit their views, says Brickyard. Yeah, I like to give. That's part of it, man. Like I don't remember when I said this, but I've said this on a past podcast. I used to think it was the bomb back in the day when somebody read my comments. So I try to read as many of them as I can. I know I missed some of them, but I try to read all of them. Chase Briscoe is still in the hunt for the Earth 2 championship. Oh, yeah, that is crazy. Can't believe he made the round of 8 last year. That's insane, the way he's had just such a bad season. Him and Austin Dillon are in a competition for who can have the worst season, in my opinion. Let's see. Where do you rank Denny Hamlin on best drivers in NASCAR? Best drivers right now, best active drivers, you've got to put him in the top 8. I would tip, depending on the year, you've got him in your top 4 because he seems to make the Final Four just about every year. So, I mean, you've got to have him, like, I would say top 6, just depending on how you want to do it. I have 6 packs of Petty's Pepsi. Hey, there you go. Earnhardt Sundrop and Tony Stewart's Coca-Cola. I didn't know Tony Stewart had a Coca-Cola deal. I'd forgotten about that. I've got the Coca-Cola bottles with the drivers on it of the more recent Coca-Cola family of drivers. But yeah, I didn't know Tony Stewart had one. I'll have to look that one up. But yeah, I've got the Sundrops and the Pepsis as well. Later, BB. See y'all Sunday. Check you later. One Wise Guy. Bonanza is pretty good eating back in the day when I was broke. Anything with a buffet was the bomb back in the day. Western Sizzler and Western Steer were good too. Pizza, says Joshua Jenkins. My wife used to love Olive Garden. Then she found out that I'm a great cook, and we haven't gone out of the kitchen since. There you go, like you did it to yourself. Fried bologna, mustard, and onions, perfect. Hey, there you go, Roofer. You're on top of it. Have you ever tried turtle soup? No, I have not. I didn't like the shredder, so I never tried turtle soup. OJ and toothpaste. Tonight I dine on turtle soup. He used to say that in the video game, and I got so tired of hearing about turtle soup that I've never tried it. Have you ever heard the song I Love NASCAR by I Love NASCAR? It's based off a Toby Keith song. In between the lines, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're the realest NASCAR channel on the tube, BB. That's facts, says Jason. I try my best, man. I try my best. I refuse to acknowledge the D-man, says Shy. Do you think NASCAR could have a red zone channel? I don't know how they would do it, but it's not the worst idea of all time. Like, maybe if they had multiple series going at the same time, you could do it like that. Like on a Saturday, you could have all your local short tracks going at the same time. They could do it like that. Yeah, Roofer Fried Bologna is a beast, says Joshua Jenkins. They could call it the Geico Restart Zone presented by Credit One Bank, says Napa Racing Fan. This is the best chat in the business, says Roofer. That's because of you guys. Not a lot to do with me. Half-inch fried bologna. Go big, baby, or go home. Little cheddar. Hey, there you go. A quarter-inch for me, says Roofer. I need to take a tape measure. Well, I've got tape measures there. I need to go to South Boston, Ace, and I guess Orange County, and see the thickness that they do their bologna burgers and see if there's any difference. Kenny Wallace makes cringe thumbnail videos too. He's called me out on it. LOL, says OJ and toothpaste. Nobody makes worse thumbnails in the YouTube game than me. So I've got that title. My thumbnails look terrible. So there you go. Every once in a while, I'll have a decent one, but most of the time, my thumbnails are awful. Let's see. Stupid Roofer, I'm a skinny, and just in case you don't know what a thumbnail is, it's the little picture before the video starts that you click on that you never see other than clicking on it. Stupid Roofer, I'm a skinny guy with a high metabolism. I need lots, says Sha. I wish I had that problem, Sha. If Denny would have got out of the car and said, yes, I moved him, it was for Toyota 600 win, 7 the Pocono, all the reasons he should say it. It would be more respect. Says, I agree with you 100% like this. But I think he's doing I think he's doing it to double down on the bad guy character because he knew that would keep him in the media. It would keep him in the news cycle longer. Same reason today that he released a T-shirt. He's just trying to stay in that news cycle because he knows staying in that news cycle, he can show prospective sponsors to 2311 that, hey, we're in the news cycle. You should come sponsor our team. To me, that is 100% why he does it. Stupid Roofer, LOL. If you want the taste of butter and garlic, I'll put bread. I'll put it on bread, not snails. Says Sonny V. We have an annual critter dinner in my hometown. Says Ken. So there you go. Frog legs or alligator tail, I guess. Bison, buffalo is probably, I guess, the most exotic thing I've eaten. Or can you please take off your hat for a minute, BB? I've done it before, Dawson. So here we go. There you go. There's the hat. Let's see. They used to have a Civil War reenactments here in Charlotte Speedway back in the 70s. I guess you'll see that there it is. There's all the bad hair today. So let's see here. Oh yeah. That's like a big thing. I can't say the name of the book because it's going to upset people. But there's a guy that wrote a book on it. What you would call a Southern soldier in the attic. So there you go. If you ever want to read a book about Civil War reenactments, that's a book that a lot of people have read, that a lot of people enjoyed. They made me read it 3 times when I was a history major before I dropped out, so I'm very familiar with it. Just tuned in, busy day, saying, hey, I'm sure this was covered already, but I think yellow should have been thrown before the white flag, says Hot Rod Shorts. Yeah, I agree with you. But the thing about that is NASCAR is always inconsistent with the yellow, so I can't say they were doing it to help anybody or hurt anybody. But they had thrown it pretty quick all race, and then they decided to wait a long time on that one. 3/16 is a perfect slice, mustard only, and some decent bread. Bread definitely makes it. SVG to the 33 or 91 next year. I think he goes to the 91. BB does the best during the week videos of anyone in the space he gets on. He tells you exactly what's going on. He's out in most of the time it's less than 5 minutes. Can't beat that. Just the facts. I try to do my best. I'm starting to watch Daytona 500 in 1996. I'm starting to watch NASCAR full time because Fox Sports coverage about NASCAR in 2001. That's back when Fox was good. Frog legs are overrated. So tiny chickens. Yes, it's like tiny hot wings. Really. In between the lanes, is there a sponsor that has left the sport that you would like to see return? UPS. I want to see UPS and FedEx go back at it, and I want to see all the beer sponsors back. I want to see Miller High Life. I want to see Budweiser, and I want to see Coors. I want to see the beer. I want to see the main beer brands back. The beer wars were really cool back in the day. If you missed them, you should play the national anthem before the stream. I wish I had that much technology. To be honest with you, Philip, I'm not quite there yet. But one day I have finally bought a switcher. I just need to figure out how to use it for this particular computer. I can make it work on my laptops at work. But for whatever reason, I'm having some interface issue with my computer. It's because of the Apple M1 chip. I've got a mini Apple, whatever they call that thing. Let's see here. NASCAR Cup Series is on USA on Sunday because NBC is showing soccer and swimming. Really, NBC having IndyCar instead of NASCAR on NBC is one thing, but this is way worse. That includes us, says Shaw. When I was living in Harrisburg in the 70s, we took our trash to the dump located on the infield of Charlotte Motor Speedway. A's, I didn't know that. I didn't. Oh, is that what they call the trash mountain behind the thing? So maybe that's why they call it Trash Mountain. Thank you, BB chat. We are fixing the NASCAR world. Love you all. Now I got to get out of here, you bum, says Roofer. And there you go. He posted the merch stores, t-shirts, hats, and stickers, including this hat that I'm wearing right here. Have you ever played Fortnite before, BB? So Dawson Fair, here's a fun fact. I was back in the day, I played a lot of video games. I was actually on the on the beta development team. It was something you volunteered for and signed up for. I didn't work for them or anything like that. It was just something they sent me an email and like your invitation to beta Fortnite has been accepted. And the part that I was beta in, I wasn't doing the where the circle closes, the free for all fighting thing. I baited basically where it was sort of like a zombie mode, the way they had it back then. You would build up a bunch of stuff, I guess, like you do in the video game, and you were doing it to keep zombies out. So that was the beta version. So from that version to what it ended up with totally a battle royale is something totally different. I don't even know if they've got the zombie mode in it now, but before the battle royale, the part that I baited, they were probably just working on building, putting up buildings and stuff like that. But that's the part that I baited. So there you go. Thank you, chat. You guys and gals are awesome. Wasn't there a 6-foot piece of metal laying at the start finish line? I don't know. I have no idea. Apocalypse. I missed somebody. Somebody said something about the apocalypse up there. Apocalypse, run away from me, says Shah. Wasn't there a 6 feet piece? I don't know. I didn't see the piece of debris. Dawson Fair equals OJ's alt account. Confirmed, says Jay Santos. Do you ever think Truex would still be at Furniture Row if they didn't close? If the price of the cars didn't go up, Furniture Row would definitely still be around, in my opinion. Went to some dim sum with my friends. Watched them eat chicken feet. I've never had chicken feet, and that's one thing I can't get past that one. What team would you drive for in the Cup Series? Teams with 4 cars already are not available. What team do you think he would drive for? I mean, probably Stewart Haas is one option, and Trackhouse is the one they keep bringing up. But I think there's going to be more options for him out there. I know that trash dump is newer than the 70s, says Jamie Schweitzer. How's your Mount Rushmore of drivers? OJ and Toothpaste saying. I would go with Earnhardt Sr., Jimmy Johnson. Just going to make it easy here. Petty, Earnhardt Sr., Jimmy Johnson, and Jeff Gordon. Those would be my 4, like off the top of my head. I mean, if I really thought about it, I could put other people in there, but just off the top of my head, those are the best 4 guys I've ever seen. So that would be my 4. Let's see. NBC needs to make NASCAR more of a priority. I agree with that. Pushing races to cable for golf and soccer is no excuse. Yeah, because NASCAR typically gets better ratings than them, so I don't understand that. Can I see your peace sign, BB? There you go. There's the peace sign. Dawson. PBR would be a great beer, paint scheme. Also, I'm biased because it's my favorite, says Jay Campbell. I used to do the PBR thing back in the day. I play the heck out of World of Tanks, says Shah. The last game I played a whole lot was Destiny and Destiny 2. But I got out of Destiny 2 when they did the Dark Armory or Black Armory, whatever it's called. And what was that thing with the guy that flips the coin? Whatever that thing when he came in, that's when I got out of Destiny 2. Denny Hamlin saw your actions detrimental shirt and tried to do a counter, but his fans are delusional, says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, I don't know about that. Pig's feet for sure. Chicken's feet. Where's the meat? Yeah, I've got some friends that eat pig's feet. I have not messed with pig's feet actually either. I told you I would bring the viewership, BB, says Roofer. I appreciate you, man. You guys are awesome. Were you mad when Jeff Gordon broke Dale's win record in 2007 at Phoenix? I wasn't mad. I was just sad. Like I was really just sad, to be honest with you. Mount Rushmore of non-championship Cup drivers. It depends on which direction you want to go with non-championship Cup drivers. Mark Martin's got to be on there. If Denny Hamlin retires with no championships, he's got to be on there. Junior Johnson has to be on there, and I mean, you would have to put Davey Allison on there from my perspective. So that would be my list. Napa makes good points, says Jay Santos. Let's see. It's because the rich guys who own NBC and play. That's a good point, Robin Marks. So they get what they want. I love the game, but it is boring to watch. I do agree it's boring to watch. I think it is definitely probably fun to play. Let's see. Thank you, says Napa Racing Fan. So there you go. Napa Racing Fan on his game as always. Mount Rushmore drivers, Petty, Earnhardt Sr., Jimmy Johnson, and Jeff Gordon. So there you go. That's the same one I've got. Favorite kind of pizza, says OJ and Toothpaste. It depends on the day. You can do the meat lovers. You can do the supreme. Sometimes I'll do the all veggie. Buffalo pizza, I guess, as far as exotic, buffalo pizza is probably my favorite, like non-traditional pizza. And I do eat pizza with pineapple on it. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not part of that. Oh, you can't put pineapple on pizza. I was like, you don't tell me what to do. I put on my pizza what I like, and that's how I do it. Anyway, like, dislike. I know I meant BB. What team would you drive for? Teams with 4 cars already are not available. Oh, I mean, that's easy. Either Petty GMS or RCR. There's no doubt about it. That's not even a question. And if you take them out of the equation, then I go with Roush RFK. So there you go. Those are the ones I drive for. The old Battlefield, Modern Warfare, 2000 Forest was most entertaining multiplayer ever. Just the comedy going on. Battlefield, the chat before the battle started. That was you remember the old chat waiting rooms? Those were interesting too, back in the day. Amazingly enough, some of those people are super conservative and tell you what you can and cannot say now. But back when they were younger, they were saying things in the lobby that were much different. Anyways, Mount Rush, but I digress. Not what we're talking about here. Mount Rushmore: Petty, Johnson, Earnhardt, Gordon for me. David Pearson, extremely close though. David Pearson's, flip a coin, but who do you take off? Do you take off Jeff Gordon for David Pearson? It's a tough battle. He's definitely my 5th. So if you made enough room for a fifth driver, for sure. Dawson Fair, you're welcome. Thank you, Dawson Fair. Wasn't there talk of a Pocono road course race at one time? I think they investigated that. I'm back. Close the poll. Traditions. So I will close this one. But I'm going to throw up another one that I forget to close before we end this one here. And there we go. Let's see. Shaw says, God, there is a Pocono road course, but NASCAR will never run it. Thanks for another great show. Good night. Take it easy, Jamie Schweitzer. Also, have you seen the ads? They play for golf, all in production, so the network charges them for more golf. It's rich people watching it. Money, money, money. Yep. Face it, fans will pay to watch racing. Who's going to pay to watch golf? Hey, there you go. Do you think Richard Petty is the greatest driver of all time? He's. I haven't seen anybody any better, to be honest with you. Supreme Pizza is king, just like Richard Petty's Go 43. And there you go. It's probably too late for a poll on favorite road course. That's actually not the poll I was going to put up. Here we go. This is the poll to settle all the questions. And I'm going to put Jeff Burton on here because I left him off the other one. And then I'm going to put all the winners on here as well, which was it Martin, baby? Who was the other one that won? Oh, we had a tie between Newman. Oh man, we had a tie between Ernie Irvan and Ryan Newman. So we're gonna go with Ryan Irvan here. Only fair thing to do here. So Ryan Irvan. Or we can take Jeff Burton out, but I'm not going to do that. I like Ryan Irvan. So there we go. Ernie Newman would have been funnier, though. I should have put Ernie Newman. I regret the poll now. It is what it is. Supreme Pizza's king, just like Richard Petty Go 43 says Joshua Jenkins. It's probably too late for a poll. One of my favorite road courses. But I wish we could get the Daytona road course back for a points race. A lot of people want that Daytona road course back. Hawaiian pizza is very tasty. It doesn't sound good, but it is. I like Hawaiian pizza. It's very good, Jay Santos, especially when they use the barbecue sauce instead of marinara. LOL, you can take your 84 number from JJ. You can take over your 84 number from JJ. Well, I had it first, to be fair. I had the 84 before Jimmy Johnson did. Dislike. Like, subscribe if you like the content, support the channel. Says Rufus. There you go. That's the merch store again. Stickers, T-shirts, and hats. Just carved the whole mountain range into NASCAR drivers. Says Shaw. Don't change it, but what started the finger points to start the videos. Without getting into too much detail, because I guess it's a long and boring story, or I just can't tell it well. I was making fun of Ryan Seacrest when he goes Seacrest out. And the Hulk Hogan, I just, for whatever reason, I was thinking of Hulk Hogan when I was making fun of Ryan Seacrest. it stuck. People liked it, so I just kept doing it. I even used to have polls on it back in the day. Do you want me to stop doing the finger point? And it always would be like 79 or 80 something percent, if I remember correctly. Most people wanted me to keep it, but I'll put that poll up at the end of the year to see if people want me to stop doing the finger point or continue doing it. I always like to keep it democratic. Let's see. Welcome new fans, says Stupid Roofer. Yep, for sure. Welcome new fans, subscribers, or whatever. Pocono RC has a weird layout. If you remember correctly, the infield section doesn't start until 2 and ends in turn 3. I could be wrong. I've never seen the Pocono Road Course, so I couldn't actually tell you anything about it. Daytona RC is only a roval that should be in NASCAR long term, says Napa Racing Fan. I don't know about that. I feel like Watkins Glen's pretty good. It just depends. Road America, if they brought that back for Cup Series, would be good. I think Road America is where they're racing this weekend in Xfinity. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe for trucks. They're racing in trucks, and Richmond, I think, is the Xfinity and Cup Series. OJ and Toothpaste, Pizza Hut or Little Caesars. Pizza Hut all day. OJ and Toothpaste. I can't. I know a lot of people like it. I cannot stand Little Caesars. Just not a fan of Little Caesars. Old Little Caesars was awesome. New Little Caesars, trash, in my opinion. Amen Napa says Jay Campbell. I know that's the way I said you're. That's why I said you're 84. It says like dislike. I appreciate you like dislike. Blunderburger, that sounds good. It's me, your friend, with that one. I know people who watch golf. They say NASCAR is boring, and I shake my head. Says Jay Campbell. Yeah, it's funny to me too. Keep it. It's iconic. The finger point, says Roofer. Yeah, I originally back in the day had a T-shirt. The first T-shirt I ever sold, people wanted a T-shirt that said Bologna Burger on the front. So it said Bologna Burger on the front, and on the back of it, it said next. I wish I'd known the graphic designer that we know now, who's doing the T-shirts, so he could have put like the finger point with the next. That would have been awesome. Roval, not only road course, and there will be like no more T-shirts till we move some of this inventory. Although the Denny Hamlin shirts have been like rolling out, so thank you guys so much for that. Ryan Seacrest and BB, hardest working guys in the business. I think Ryan Seacrest has got me beat, but I do my best. Roval, not only Charlotte Roval, just for clarification, says Napa Racing Fan. Okay, I got you. The cool thing about Daytona and Charlotte is you can see most of the race no matter where you sit. So that's the two cool things about Charlotte and at Daytona. Indianapolis, I've only ever seen a race there from the infield. Like, I don't know if you guys have been long enough. To remember the first car I ever built was an electric car, and we raced it at the Indianapolis road course. So I've never seen it from outside, but I've been on the inside of Indianapolis. No Dawson Fair. How much longer till Denny races for himself? Says one wise guy. I don't know. Joe Gibbs said he's going to be there basically until he wants to leave, is pretty much what I got out of the interview the other day. Pizza Hut all day, says Roofer. Little Caesars is the U-Haul of pizza, says Jay Santos. Any word about Kurt running Vegas yet? I haven't heard anything, but there's a lot of people that seem to think that. Smash the like button, says Jay Campbell. Shaw says peace to the sponsor of Chase Elliott for a few select races. That would be Hooters, of course. Jeff Burton, in my opinion, should not be in the Hall of Fame. He only got it because he's some type of mayor, I guess. But honestly, wasn't that good, says OJ and Toothpaste. I didn't even know he was in the Hall of Fame. So you got one on me. Peace out, BB, says E. Damon. Thanks again, brother, as always. Dawson Fair says, did you know, BB, that Matt DiBenedetto's birthday is Thursday? I was not familiar with that. So we'll have to celebrate that on that day. And it looks like we have gotten to the end of them. So if you don't have anything else you want to say, I'll stick on here for another minute or two to see if there's any more questions, comments, or anything like that pop up. But if not, I'll jump off here. All right. That looks like all of it. I appreciate it. Y'all take it easy. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.